From the Bob Mills Weather Center, meteorologist Andrew Adams.
Well, a very quiet start to the morning, a nice glow along the horizon there. One of our Lucky Star Skycam Network camera shots under the cloud deck that we have overhead. We're getting some sunlight. That looks nice, but what you can't tell from any of these shots, except for a little bit of that steam you saw just rise over the parking lot in that shot down in the corner, is that it is just plain cold. There's no other way to call it. It is painfully cold out this morning. That's one thing we're noticing right now. Eventually, we're going to notice the more winter weather that's not just the cold air move in, that being snow. Earlier in central and north central Oklahoma, much later, relatively speaking, it'll be in the mid-afternoon in far eastern Oklahoma. But yeah, traveler advisory in effect for us. Here's what we're looking at right now on satellite and radar. Notice mainly quiet, and then you get this little flash here at the end down in the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles in far western and northwestern Oklahoma, this little flash of blue, and it kind of makes you think, you know, is it snowing right now? And the answer to that, at least for us here in Oklahoma, is not quite yet. I haven't seen any reports out of far western Oklahoma that any of this is hitting the ground. And you'll notice this is pretty far from that Amarillo radar site. But where it's at right now, north of Pampa, some of that's been filling in more. That tells me the atmosphere is kind of starting to try to get things going with this wave as it's very slowly moving off to the east. Look at what's happening down near Mangum. You see how this radar shows that there's some blue, there's maybe some snow down there. We go to Frederick, which is a much closer radar, and that disappears. A lot of this stuff is just lofted up snow. It's not coming down to the ground yet, but it will as the morning goes on. So as we head toward 8, 9 o'clock, that starts to fill in. We'll start to get some snow, mainly light snow, up in western and northwestern Oklahoma. Occasionally a little burst of heavy snow will be possible through this morning and into this afternoon. And by 11 o'clock to noon, that comes into the metro and areas to the north, even spreading off to the east. And by the mid-afternoon, here's 3 o'clock, we're looking pretty dry here across central Oklahoma. It's a quick hitter. It moves past, and then as we go overnight, there's still the chance that we could get a little extra burst of some light snow out of this, but don't expect much to be added on by that point. Most of our snow totals are going to come today rather than tonight. We could still get some flurries through the afternoon tomorrow, but overall odds are pretty low. We notice this little band coming in from Kansas, and you see all those little streamers coming off of our lakes. Lakes still relatively warm compared to the air, which is, of course, incredibly cold, and that can produce a little bit of lake effect snow, but I don't expect a whole lot of that for us, not like the Great Lakes. They'll be getting a whole lot of lake effect snow. We've got some wind chill warnings to talk about through Tuesday from Canada all the way through central Oklahoma. It's going to be just cold, and it is this morning. Minus 17 degrees below zero is the feels like right now in Oklahoma City, 20 degrees below zero, Dodge City, 21 below in Wichita. Through this afternoon, I don't anticipate our wind chills getting much above freezing. We could, or not freezing, rather, zero. That's even worse. Out in western Oklahoma, perhaps some mid and upper single digits. Down in southwestern Oklahoma, some teens possible. Here across the metro, right at that zero mark. It's going to be very cold, and through tomorrow morning, more wind chills below zero. So very, very frigid air tomorrow afternoon. There's some single digits for you. We're going to start going in the right direction, but more negatives as we head into Tuesday morning. It's Tuesday afternoon. Air temperatures return to the 20s, so we start to see things relax a little bit. Eventually, we'll be in the 40s for some afternoons on the 9-day. But here's a quiet, nice look on our American Fidelity camera, Lucky Star Skycam Network. 2 degrees, feels like 17 below here in Oklahoma City. It is colder than yesterday morning by quite a lot here in central Oklahoma. Air temperatures in the lower single digits. 1 in Midwest City right now, 2 and more in Norman, El Reno, 3 in Kingfisher, 0 right now in Woodward. Alva's at 1. It is bitter out there when you factor in the wind as well, with wind chills across the board, 10 to 20 degrees below zero early on today, thanks to that northeast breeze, 10 to 15 and 20 miles per hour. So through this morning, far western, northwestern Oklahoma, we'll see the flurries start to develop. They'll increase. They'll continue to spread to the east. So by late morning, right around lunchtime, Oklahoma City and the metro, especially western parts of the metro, start to see that. Air temperatures this afternoon, single digits and teens. And right along I-35 by the early afternoon is where that heart of the snow ought to be, and then spreading off to the east. You notice things wrapping up out in western Oklahoma. Our main timeline here in central Oklahoma, 10 a.m. to about noon. We could try to stretch that to 1 depending on the speed of this system. 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. in far western Oklahoma and past noon mainly for eastern Oklahoma. Tonight into tomorrow morning, about a 40 to 60% chance at some of those extra flurries, some light snow showers with that one more quick burst possible, and lows falling back into the single digits. When all is said and done here across the metro, 1 to maybe up to 2 inches at the most with this. Again, it's a pretty quick hitter, and it's just mainly that one bit. It's not the overnight snow that we're looking to really add on to a lot of this. So we're on that kind of fine line between getting a little bit or maybe just a touch more. Martin Luther King Day, it's cold, and then we try to see temperatures rebound through the middle of the week before another cold front comes through to knock us down a peg. That's all we got for now. News 9's going to be back right after this.